Hi guys, and welcome to what will be Case 4, the Abbey Grange affair. We're about to start right now. I've not actually seen the intro to this, so let's switch over and let's crack on. Yes, I do want to replay the case. It says that every time, and the reason it says that is because when we finish the previous case, we have a 2 or 3 second run over. When we next it saves it, and we can come out and we can continue. So let's see what happens.
The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade. A letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Okay. Alright, well, let's examine the telescope.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look. The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
On the table, not that table.
My archive.
No, that one. It's not a table, that's a mantelpiece. Okay.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Am I being blind? I mean, come on. Seriously?
The letter is on the table.
This is where I keep my post. This is where I keep my post.
Right.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
The letter is on the table. You keep telling me that. What table? Oh, there we go. That table. Get there in the end. What we got? Oh,
The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
yay.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
Still need
A wax seal with the monogram E.B.
Uh-huh. My dear Miss Holmes, I should be very glad for your immediate assistance in what promises to be a rockable case. This is something quite out of the line, except for the legislation lady. I will see that everything is kept exactly as I found it, but I beg you do not lose an instant. It is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Okay. So, Eustace is...
So, what is it, Holmes?
dead dude.
Promising, as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately.
Bum, 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 bum.
I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Well, keep living in hope, mate. We ain't got that far yet. Here we go. Now, I know that Abbey Grange actually does exist in one of the books. I think. It's been a while. I love how it still gives us the open deduction bits. We've got nothing to really work with. We've got a dead dude, a woman that was held. That's it.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
Oh dear.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts.
When they say
She's in the
assaulted-
morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright,
Where is the body of the deceased?
in the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Just maybe make our glasses a little bit clear. Okay. Inspector room where Lady Brackner is being held. Oh, here we go. Didn't mind that.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary?
Boom,
I have already
slap,
told
bang.
Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
You got smacked in the
I will tell you
face.
then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this
On the
room until
collar.
after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and, oh God,
Please, go on.
as I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who
Two
had just stepped
contusions.
into the room.
Not one.
Close behind the first man,
Blood on the
I
collar,
saw
so
two
she
others.
touched something.
One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
I reckon the
Yes,
woman,
I found that they
maid,
had taken the silver from the
let them in.
sideboard. But you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Right, let's go through this. Okay, so you're only allowing one. I disagree with that. I think that's wrong. I'll say this for you guys at Frogwares, that is a strange place to have a click point. Oh, we're gonna get that. Sorry, but yeah. not a happy marriage.
You mentioned that your marriage was
shit.
not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again.
Douche.
Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Alright. I reckon we talk to her first.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Let's have a quick look at this woman before we start. Okay. Wrinkles doesn't tell us a lot. Essentially older than she appears. See, looking at what we look at, what we missed. We missed something. What we missed? Come on, guys. What we missed? Handkerchief. And coffee stains. Get that. Working hands. Of course.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Okay, also Australian. Lovers of dogs and stuff. Nothing. Oh, hello. What we got here? The Times.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article. Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
What a name. Oh, wow.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Well, you're the doctor. Doctor. 3 glasses.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other 2 are clear.
Okay, so untrusting little shit bag.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
Toby. Yeah, there we go.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. A bottle of wine is missing here.
Yep.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Okie dokie.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
Okay, well we've got...
That must be
Okay.
the murder weapon.
Right.
Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. The head was
Lovely.
cracked with the force of the blow.
Anything else? Head, poker, nothing on hands. Well, that's cheeky. No wedding ring. Look at that.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That
Doubt
is
it.
one possible explanation. A fur trader's cabin.
Okie dokie.
A fur trader's cabin.
Lots of fur trader stuff. Okay.
Antique hunting weapons.
Yep. I can examine the chair a bit further. We
This
missed
is the
something.
chair that Lady Brackenstraw
Okay.
was tied to.
Well, that answered that. Okay.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Okay.
A deer hunt.
So those of you wondering what I'm looking at the floor, I'm just looking to see if the rug is exposed. No. Anything else? Mantelpiece. So it's now. Well, I can look at the mantelpiece earlier. Oi. Right. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. What have we got? Okay. Right. What's the story with that then? Can't answer that at the moment. Okay. Let's go back to the clues. What else we got? Now that's where my brain's going, because I don't think they did it. Fireplace grate. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, we're agreement so far. Right. We know none of this. Yeah. Okay, so we've got everything we can think of at the moment. Sorry about the noise, ladies and gents. We have got some interesting outcomes going on outside, so what you can hear in the background is police cars going up down the road. So we're just going to leave it, we're going to ignore it, we're going to carry on as we do. Do we have anyone in chat? We do have a few people. Hello. Another TT viewer. Commander Root. Q-Quicks. Or Cusick. Sorry. The Devil FOB. And Thicker. Hello and welcome. There's Toby. I mean, what do we pick him? Oh, we
Come
take
on,
Toby.
We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Okay, so right. What, back to Abbey Grange? Okay, so before we go too far, do anything yet? We can examine the rope.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
Uh-huh.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Okay. Could indicate. Okay. Nothing to. I mean. Okay. So. 2 goes against the Randalls. So if there's 3, it's the Randalls. Okay, right, whatever. Thank you to Mint Piff, who liked our tweet, and thank you to Baskerville Hounds for retweeting us. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated.
Search, Toby.
Okay. Oh, we get to play as the dog. Oh, nice. Of course. Oh, go this way. Oh look, we're going to the greenhouse.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
No, they put... Okay, so... taking us back where we were? Yeah, that's not right. Oh, here we go. We're going to, we're going fro. Now, have we missed something? That's the question.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Do that in a minute. We're gonna continue as Toby. Alright.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Because they were dumping shit. That's why.
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Bags of... This hook might be useful. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest.
Okay. Is that it? Just check. Nothing. Okay, right.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Oh look, it's the silverware.
Silverware? This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Murder as a robbery. Okay. I think we're going with that one. I think it's imitation, because I don't think they dumped it. Okay, so we're left with just one theory. We can't work out yet. We have questions. So many questions. So, assuming there are two people, not unrealistic. We'll go over it. times for glasses. I think what we have is I think there's two people, and one of them is something to do with her ladyship.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
No, you're not.
Your ladyship?
Very, very peeved. What we need is a letter. Oh, small table. Perfect.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
That's it. That's all we're getting out of this. Okay. Anything more?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
What's she got to say for herself?
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed. Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place. Or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Can we fingerprint the glasses? Apparently not.
Chateau a decant.
Okay. What have we got? Inspect the room where Lady Brackenstall is resting. Okay. What do we think's in there? missing something? We probably are. Oh,
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I
Oh
must
dear.
ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
okay.
Let us try to open this safe.
Okay, here we
This
go.
safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
It's not how saves work. Dude. Haptic. Wow.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. Antique... It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
And yet, they didn't take anything. Got anything from this? Anything further? Nope. Okay, what have we got? Report, blah blah blah, yep. Okay, so we've got dialogue. Is that dialogue with...
Oh, what a horrible thing to have...
Oh.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
That sounds like a lot of excuses. Go figure. Oh, that's difficult because I mean, are those not mutually exclusive? Oh, that's not good. That doesn't help us, does it really, guys? Okay. Well, violent behaviour. Well, we know about that.
Oh, what a horrible
Right,
thing to
so
have happened.
what else have we got option-wise? I've done the investigation.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Look for the sailor. Really? Who could have thought that would be a requirement?
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
How are we gonna find? Ah.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall.
Most like the dog that was set alight. We got that bit there. No, no. I mean, did we left that open? There's nothing there. Anything else? I'm not seeing anything that says sailor. So maybe we go and we consult the books. So, sailing times. Yeah, sailing times. We can find one. I mean, do we go dress as a sailor? What have we got here? Search for Rock of Gibraltar. Okay. Chemistry, toxins, wounds, that's one. 3 steps to surviving waterfall. Okay. Huh? What?
My search must... Here it
Okay.
is.
Right. Does that help?
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
The specialist? Should I even ask? Wiggins.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
Yeah, they don't follow the law. They don't give a shit. And they'll happily rob anything they can find.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Ah, why is it too risky? Okay. Which table did you put it on, you little bugger? Oh well, alright.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London.
Oh, we got him.
I do not
Hey.
think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
What? Rather than London. Fucking clear, man.
I do not. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. I do not think that this sailor. I do not.
You really want to skip? Yes, I do, because I can see this.
Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Okay. Cool. What? How you do that then?
This Crocker. Do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Okay. Explains why Wiggins is still there. Kinda guessed.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Sometime later.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why. You are
Okay.
acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see.
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Wow. Yep.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Okay. Right. The captain is the killer. Nah. I mean, yeah. Wow. Go on then. Let's see what we've got.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Barely an hour. Uh-oh. Barely an hour has passed.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Whoa! Oh, come on! Jesus, wet.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner, Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
Okay, right. We got the murderer. We did it in an hour.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
See, we absolved him. We shouldn't have absolved him. It wasn't the moral choice we made. Let's go back. We're going to make the moral choice this time. And you guys can see the ending with me. I've got to say, that's probably the quickest we've played one through. Okay, here we go. Right. Boom. 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 Because remember, it is
Wiggins,
for a
could
jury
you
to
ask Mr.
decide.
Crocker to come here again?
Oh,
Right
here we
away.
go. Right away. Barely an hour has passed.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
Because you suck. Right, here we go.
It's
It- But that...
Mr.
You...
Till I...
Well, we're going to have to go through the click and crack. There we go. Boom. Better that time. Knew it was coming.
You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry, Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case. Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
Okay, so you don't really have... okay. Oh well, we're going to accept it. We're going to carry on. People who solved the case the same way. People who made the same moral choices. Come on, give us the answers. We are waiting. Okay, most people went with our first choice, which is fair enough. I get that. I get that. And that is going to be next week's stream. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the Abbey Grange murder. It was good fun. As you can see, the moment we hit the button, we can't do anything to get out. Now we can push main menu, we can come out. It will still say, and I'll do this on stream now so you can see. The cases, Kew Gardens, yep, play the case. It does it immediately. There we go. All goes well. We will see you next Sunday for case 5. I hope you enjoyed case 4, which was the Abbey Grange affair. I mean, I expect the guy got off eventually. Very well. If you did enjoy it, leave a note in chat. Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, follow. Check out our YouTube channel where we have the other 3 cases that we've done. We've got a 5th one, which we'll do next Sunday. Until we see you on Sunday, don't forget Thursday's Rocket League. We'll catch you then. Stay safe, be well. Bye for now.